Man, it has been a long time coming, but it is finally here. Grand Theft Auto 5 for PC is finally here, and I played a little bit of it, and I got some shit to talk to y'all about it. For those of you who haven't got it yet, didn't preload it or pre-order it or none of that shit, I'm going to give you my impressions on what I've played so far from this version of Grand Theft Auto 5. Now mind you, I had Grand Theft Auto 5 on last gen consoles. I released a review for it and I gave it a 10 out of 10. I called it a masterpiece. Now this was only the single player. The online hadn't came out yet, and that's really what gave GTA 5 that fucked up reputation as a whole, because the online was kind of shit in the beginning. But I gave it a masterpiece score. I gave it a 10 out of 10, and I said it is the greatest game I ever played. Now I'm gonna own up to my shit and retract that statement. It is not the greatest game I ever played, but it definitely is one of the greatest games I've ever played. It's definitely in that Mount Olympus of gaming ever, pretty much. The greatest games I've ever played, in my opinion, which pretty much is my favorite games, is Half-Life 2 and Tekken 3. Those are always number 1 and 2, fighting for that number 1 spot, and it hasn't changed since. But then the new gen consoles came out, and it was re-released on the new gen, in which I never bought, never even really owned a copy of those, never really wanted to, because I knew that PC version was coming right around the corner. Now I did play some of the new gen versions, and it is dope. It is great compared to the last gen and shit, but it is, I still wanted to wait for the PC version because I knew that shit was coming. Now I have never actually bought Grand Theft Auto 5. When it came out on last gen consoles, I got a review copy from Rockstar, and that's how I ended up getting the game and reviewing it and living with that copy. And then, like I said, the new gens, I never even owned the copy. I just played a little bit of it from friends I know who have it. So technically, this is my first time ever actually buying Grand Theft Auto 5 in any edition, period. And I have to say, the shit was worth every penny. Now, I've put hours and hours and hours into Grand Theft Auto 5. But I have to say, I'm going to do that shit all over again on this PC version. This shit is optimized so well and it's so smooth, and oh my god, that frame rate, man. I know there's people out there who argue the frame rate, they like 30 frames over 60 frames, and of course that shit sounds fucking crazy to anybody with sense, but this is the ultimate edition of Grand Theft Auto 5 in every single aspect. And I'm not even a fan of the console war, the platform war shit. That shit is fucking stupid to me, alright? I have all consoles. I don't want to throw any of them under the bus. But this version of the fucking Grand Theft Auto 5 is the best version. Of course, you should already know that, but some people just don't want to accept it, alright? It is better visually. It is better in frame rate, and it is better as far as optimization. Optimization in this game is probably the greatest about it. There is so many choices of options to choose from, to tweak and shit to get it where you want it. And there's one thing I love about the tweaking of the graphics and shit in this game. Rockstar included a little bar above, your graphic tweaking that lets you see how much VRAM you're using as you're tweaking your shit. So before you even leave the pause menu, you have a feel of whether or not this performance is going to work out or not. I like that shit. I don't like the fact that you have to exit the whole fucking game when you tweak certain settings to actually see it in action. But hey, it's a small price to pay. If you have a slow ass system, it's going to really hinder you. If you have a fast system or running this shit on SSD, it's not going to really matter. But as far as I'm concerned, this game is the shit. Especially when you get to experience it with a keyboard and mouse and shit. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be playing it with controller even though they're on PC. But the keyboard and mouse feels like a whole new, like I'm experiencing this shit all over again. And I really like that. Especially when you dip into first person. It feels like that shit was meant for the PC version in this iteration right here. And I have to say, man, I tilt my hat to Rockstar, right? I know a lot of people are going to be bitching about how they're re-releasing the game, $60, the same game for the third time. I get it. If you've bought the last two versions of Grand Theft Auto 5, then it's going to be bare bones up to you on whether or not you want to buy it again. But I've never bought the game. Period, matter of fact. And I've skipped out on the new gen consoles, pretty much. That version, I skipped out on that shit for this version. So I'm proud to have bought this game, and I am happy with the performance that it's giving me. This shit is running Max Payne 3 smooth. And for those of you who play Max Payne 3 on PC, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. This shit is running excellent. Now, the one thing that everybody who has got this game is waiting on and can't wait on is the modding, which is had already started before the game even released. Now we're working on getting them into the game, and I can't wait for that as well. This shit is gonna be awesome. I'm loving it so far. I'm gonna play through the story, and I'm gonna hop my ass online, and y'all gonna see me on that motherfucker. And yes, I know that you guys are waiting on some Mortal Kombat X footage, and that is definitely coming. Just be patient with me. That is coming up very soon. So make sure you subscribe, comment, like the video if you like it. This is IDCL, and I'm out. Peace.